What's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the best of the rest. It's been a minute, man. I don't know. When was the last time we did best of the rest? I can't remember, man. But listen, we're here.
Because
We're
you've
here.
been on holiday living life, fam. That's why. You're
Well,
okay.
listen.
Just don't blame us.
Nah, listen, man. We had to take a pause, man, because I weren't in the best mind frame for that show, man. And probably Lewis is probably thinking the same as well, man. But listen, we're here. We're live and kicking. We got Premsy in the building. Premsy, what are you telling me, man?
Yo, good to be back. Really enjoyed this show. Big up everyone in the chat. Smash the likes from early people. Big up the panel.
Yeah,
And
man.
let's get it cracking. You know what it is, folks.
Yeah, man, definitely, man. Months, life is good over there. 15 out of 15, did you say or something like that?
No. 5 wins out of 5, man. It's me. Do you know what? That
Uh,
that 1-1 draw at the bridge is seeming increasingly embarrassing now. Now that Villa have gone there and got points, like now I'm a bit ashamed that we drew that game. But listen, we're
Hey,
here.
you gotta hold that. You gotta hold that.
That's fine. I thought, listen, Lewis, commiserations, everyone else. It's just good to be here. It's good to be back. You know what I'm saying? Shameless Monsters back now, man. Shameless Monsters back, man. Had to be here. Big up the
Yeah.
Comments are getting me already. Comments are getting me already.
Yeah, the comments are mad. The comments are mad. We got Patrick who's decided to join us after a while. But listen, Patrick, it's good to have you back. You know what I'm saying? To Tottenham are shining. So I'm surprised you're not going to Tottenham gear on. Is that Tottenham hat or is that just
Listen, I literally made the cut as you were going live. I literally just got back in, so I'm just here, innit? I'm here, but it's all good. We're repping regardless. Good to be here. Good to be back. Everyone, shout out to everyone in the comments. Carefree Lewis, I see you going viral. Everything you're saying is literally everywhere I go now.
Yeah.
All good.
Groundhog Day again, man.
Man.
It's crazy. You know what? Yeah, Lewis. Yeah, you now got the high trim now, man. I feel like the high trim's back. It's like reminiscent, but it's reminiscent of back in. I don't know if it was Conte days when you were like so bad or something. I don't know, bro.
When we first linked up after you beat us in the cup.
That was the one. That was the one. Yes. But yeah, man.
Yeah,
How you feeling, bro? How you feeling, man?
Hey, 97 days and the transfer window opens. So there's not all negatives.
Wow.
But the football stinks.
Wow.
The football stinks. Hopefully we score tomorrow, because if not, we haven't scored in the entire month of September. And I don't know what we're gonna do with the whole goal of the month award and everything. But yeah, it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good.
No, it's not looking good, man. I think we're gonna have to start with Chelsea. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Make sure you hit the like button, people, on the video. You get me? Man like Green Lee said, don't worry, man. I'll see you on Thursday, bro. I'll see you on Thursday. Man was talking smoke about Madison, yeah, and now all of a sudden he wants to come in the chats, yeah. Okay, say no more. But listen, will Chelsea get out of the mud? That's the question now. Lewis, you said it right there. You said you haven't scored a goal in September. I don't know what you're gonna do with your goal of the month. Tomorrow night you got a place to rectify that. But bro, talk to me, man. What's going on at your football club? Because like I said, I see Ekbali running away from Fator and that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to
Fator. Gegenpressed by a kid. Big up, Jacob.
But yo, man, it's not great, man, over there. Man's coming into the dressing rooms. Certain man are leaving. Makalele's left. Another guy's left. Like, bro, like it must be stressful at Chelsea, bro.
Bro, I didn't even know Makalele was here. I won't lie. That's why I didn't really care about it. Everyone's complaining all the clubs finished. Who was even talking about him while he was here? But yeah, we lost 1-0 again. Wasted a lot of chances. Like, I don't like talking about the red card. Was it a red card? Was it not? I don't really care. We had enough chances to bury the game before that, and we didn't do it. Enzo was wasteful. Sterling was wasteful. Jackson was wasteful. Mudryk was robbed of 2 assists again. He's been our best forward the last 2 games. He's the only forward I'm not going to say anything about. But we get the red card and Poch turns into a pussy again. Simple as that. He decides, I'm going to take off our only creator in Mudryk, and we're going to bring on a wing back in Chilwell instead. Then he decides we're going to take off our only striker and bring on a DM, still at 0-0. And then when we concede, he decides, okay, now I'm going to bring on a striker because now I want to get the point. It was back to protect the point because that's exactly what he did at 0-0. We haven't scored in 2 games. I don't care if we're down to 10 men. You attack and you get a result because we need a result regardless. What does he do? He defends. again. Cole Palmer comes on yet again, does more than Conor Gallagher does in 70 minutes, but Gallagher gets the armband and gets to represent us in this mess. Starts every single game, 6 out of 6. Like, nothing he does makes sense. You take off a striker when we're trying to win a game. You bring on a striker when we're losing the game. It's confusing. The attack's been messy. I'm not going to defend them. But the easiest run of the season, well, the easiest start of the season, and we're messing it up right now. It's 5 points in 6 games. I don't know where it goes from here, but on the Poch, I think it's only going backwards.
More energy, Lewis.
Jack has to do more as well. Like, I will put them up there too. They need to be burying their chances.
Lewis, I need more energy.
Man is saying big salmon in December, bro. It's looking fake.
Hey,
listen, you never know. Lampard, come back.
He'd save us from the drop.
You lot are tracking relegation.
Lampard,
you know that right now.
Yeah, we've got
6 is
0.8 is our points tally in like the last 38 games. I think that is, which would have got us relegated in every single Premier League season and bottom in about 8 of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, Chelsea points per game over the last 35 matches is 0.8.
That's crazy.
It's the worst record in the league when you look at it. Like, I don't think anybody else has got a record than Chelsea in the league, like a worse record.
In the 2023 calendar league table, we're bottom out of all the teams that have not been relegated or promoted because Everton beat Brentford.
I hear the manager's the issue in it, but there's also like your experienced players aren't pulling their weight. Obviously, Sterling, he's Jamaican, so I'll leave him out of it. But he's still.
No, involve him.
Let me land.
Here's the recovery. He's recovering from it now. Come on, give us the recovery, fam.
Listen, I struggled to get onto Sterling for reasons, innit? Just because obviously he's Jamaican gunman in my opinion, but he needs to start putting the ball in the back of the net. For me, Thiago Silva's got cataracts and he's got arthritis, and you lot still proceed to play him week in, week out.
Uncomfortable conversation.
Enzo Fernandez has played all 3 positions in midfield, and you lot have only registered 3 wins since he signed. It doesn't really make sense to me, or 4 wins since he signed. I don't know. Jackson, the guy who was looking amazing in preseason, all of a sudden has more yellow cards than goals. He's suspended already, and we're in September. He's not even a DM. He's got more yellow cards than goals. Like, really, like if this was Richarlison, no. Let's take this in. Imagine this was Richarlison.
Yeah, for real.
Let's imagine this was someone like
I just said that to get Tottenham on their side. Great.
No. I'm not. Listen.
What are you gonna say if it was Havertz next?
Listen. God
Why am I catching straight?
No,
that is
could never be my strikers, man. I don't know. You might got players, you know.
Yeah, God forbid. So all I'm saying, like I'm looking at the experienced players, and I'm gonna throw Chilwell in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna throw Reece James in there because of the injury, but these guys aren't doing enough. And I don't want to hear. I've been hearing a lot this week of, do you know what? Like, we got so many young players. Well, no one was saying we got so many young players. No one was saying that when you guys signed Caicedo and Lavia. I was hearing best midfield trio in the league. That's what I was hearing. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I said the same thing. All we do in the last 3 weeks is make excuses. Oh, it's injuries. Oh, lack of experience. Bollocks, man. We had the easiest start to the season, and we played like shit. Call it what it is. This manager, we have a £215 million pivot that we don't use because we put fucking Conor Gallagher in there instead and throw Enzo into the 10. The whole point of bringing Caicedo was to get more out of Enzo, and now we don't play them together. Doesn't make sense. Jackson, he has been wasteful. I don't get why he's getting so many yellow cards early. He's already got 4 for arguing with the ref. Poch said he was going to tell him to calm down with it, and then he goes and gets another yellow card. It's stupid. Sterling, he's gone right back to Sterling from last season, just lagging in the final third again. It's not been good from the attack. They've been poor as well. My only problem is we don't set up to attack for 90 minutes because Poch comes out and bottles it in the second half every single time. And then he just says everything's fine and this is part of the process and makes every excuse under the sun.
I don't want to hear process talk from him because he says something about the league. He said something
Yeah.
about I don't want to hear
he
process
said at
talk.
Chelsea, there's nothing about patience. We need to win now. And then after we lost to Nottingham Forest, he said we need patience.
He's talking about patience and process. Like, bro, two things that you don't get at Chelsea. Does he know what club he's joined? You don't get patience.
He said we didn't need that when he joined. That's why. This is why I'm questioning this guy. He came in and he immediately understood the expectations. He said, we need to win now. We're Chelsea. The standard's different here. Now he's gone right back against everything that he said. Contradicts himself all the time. After the Bournemouth game, he said before the match, no excuses. We must win. When we don't win, we had to protect the point against a winless Bournemouth side. 12 injuries really affected us. Contradicts himself by the week.
Imran's taking a piss there.
I want to be patient with him. I don't really know who comes in if he gets sacked, but like he's moving like an idiot.
Yeah, this ain't the Pochettino that I know, man. This ain't the Pochettino that I fell in love with. This guy looks
inside job.
He looks flabby. He looks out of shape.
Right, the guy said fat, you know. The guy body shaming a man, you know.
Bro, that's crazy.
I'll take
allow that, man. Allow that.
He looks tired.
No, big bone. No, big bone, Patrick. Big bone. Come on, man.
The guy said fat, flabby, fucking.
You know what it is? It's the London, man. London, you get some proper food over there. Paris is probably chilling in the favelas and that. You know what I'm saying? Like now,
this is not the Pochettino that I know. Like there's no shape, there's no plan, there's no ethos, there's no style of play. Defensively, they're not good. Defensively, they're not good. Like Lewis is saying, second half, he's bottling every single game. He's coming out and just talking rubbish. He's talking in riddles. He doesn't look. It's just weird. It's a weird. I didn't understand why he took the job personally. I know Chelsea is a massive club, but it just didn't fit him. They're talking about project managers and this and that, but when you throw £1 billion at a manager, you expect results right now. And even if he's not getting results, the style of play is not encouraging, and Chelsea fans were never going to take to him anyway because of the I said this from day dot, and everything I said is coming into fruition. I'm just looking at like
I'll be real, like we were very welcoming to him in the first few games, but he's made so many errors at the start of his campaign. It's like, whoa, we meant to just ignore it. Like that's the same thing I mocked United fans about with Oli, Arsenal fans with Arteta. I'm not doing that now. I'd be a hypocrite. Right now, it's his decisions that are the most alarming thing to me right now. Because there are players like Nicholas Jackson who have high expectations on them now, but I can also address the fact that he is a 21-year-old striker in a new league. Does need a little bit of time too. It's just a shame he's the number 9 at Chelsea and he has to deliver now. Both sides are correct in it. Is what it is. That's why I'll give him a little bit more time. Pochettino, I'd at least want you to set up to win per game. And to at least against Luton and Nottingham Forest.
You know what? Man in the comments are calling him Porky Chino. Man in the comments.
No, I call him Thotachino. I call him Thotachino. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what? You got to look at the whole Chelsea situation, bro. It's not surprising. I've said it time and time again. Post Roman bums. I knew.
Yeah, you did say that.
When Roman Abramovich left this club, the fight is going to leave Chelsea Football Club, because as much as if you like him or you hate him, this guy had serious drive. He was at every single game. He had big influence on decisions at the club. People feared that guy. This Todd Bowley guy, nobody gives two fucks about him realistically. You get me? He's going out there, spending £1 billion out there on players, bringing in young players and trying to go with this new process and stuff. Disrespecting the Premier League. You need experience in this league. You can't just turn up to the Premier League with 2-3 experienced players that probably wouldn't get into any of the other top 6 sides and think you're going to do something serious in this league. To be fair, Chelsea, they're done for, man. They're absolutely done for. Rubbish football.
We look better with better coaching.
No, I don't think you've got a chance, bro. I don't think.
Well, we've had the easiest start to the season. With better coaching, we'd have better results. And
do you know what, though?
Different light.
But when Graham Potter came to use, before he joined Hughes and ruined his career, he was meant to be one of the best coaches in the league at that particular point. And
he's done exactly what Potter's done. The one thing that Potter and Potter both done is that they came in with resumes of different systems and they've come to Chelsea and done something completely different. If Potter just stuck to his system, probably wouldn't have sacked him. But he went to
Chelsea's
a back four.
Problem, though, Lewis. Chelsea's problem is not system, is not all of this. It's their recruitment. That is the problem. Yep. They're going out there, they're spending silly money on players that they're not really looking into deep enough to think, are they going to fit into a system? It's all.
Was Enzo and Caicedo silly signings?
Like Caicedo,
two. We haven't even played them as a 3 out of $1 billion. But it's mad, man.
No, I think you know what it is.
We haven't even played them together. We play Conor Gallagher in the pivot instead. That's a decision of the manager.
Yeah. No, I get
Lewis,
that. But for me, it's a striker.
You've been on here though, yeah. Exactly, Saeed. I was coming on to this. You've been saying you need a striker for God knows how long. Yeah. You go out there, you buy this Jackson kid who really isn't proven at all. How does that work? How does that make any sense?
We wanted to get Vlahovic as well, but Poch didn't want him, which looks stupider by the day.
Bro, but
so again, goes back to the manager.
Again, do you know what it is though? It's every step and every decision is just wrong. Like Cole Palmer still makes 0 sense to me. There's so many, like Premsy said, there's so many signings.
Cole Palmer's been great for us off the bench.
But why are Chelsea getting Cole Palmer to bring him off the bench when you have bigger problems? It's like me trying to.
Why is Cole Palmer on the bench when Gallagher starts every game? I don't know.
But hear me out, bro. It's like my door's broken and I've gone and bought a flat screen. Why am I doing? I've got no door, bro. Like every decision and every.
We needed someone to play in the 10. Cole Palmer's a 10.
But half the time you aren't even playing a natural.
I hear what you're on about, Mons. I hear what you're on about. There's certain signings that made sense. Caicedo, Lavio. I get them. Enzo Fernandez. But then there's also a couple. I'm like, you needed a clinical striker. For me, Vlahovic was the one. There's also obviously Toney's not going to come until January. We will talk about Toney as well in a second. But I do think there were certain situations where I've like. Up front, I'm like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense, bro. Like, Broha, man, he's come back from injury. You're going to rely on him. Like, who else have you got? A striker?
What specific signing was bad in your eyes?
No, do you know what, Lewis? It's
bad. It's what's
look. Do you know what it is? It's not.
If it's not bad, then what are we talking about?
I'll tell you exactly what it is. Let me probably say, because it's not that they're bad because they're young players and you got to see if they're gonna hit the levels of what you expect of them. But the problem and what is bad is bringing all these young crop of players into the same team and thinking it's going to thrive straight away. You have to be smart and bring in some experience. Bring in some experience from the Premier League. Caicedo, realistically, he's only had one season in the Premier League as well. That's not stack loaded with experience in this league. Just a quick example. You say you needed an attacking midfielder. James Maddison, I think Arsenal should have went in for him. He's been one of the better centre attacking midfielders in the Premier League for a number of years. When Tottenham went in for him, there wasn't anyone really else linked to him. That's what I mean by making smart signings. It doesn't look like Chelsea have really made smart signings. It looks like they've just looked at players that have got a high ceiling, good potential, young, bring them in and just hope for the best and see what can happen.
Brother, I'd agree with all of this if we were playing tougher teams, where we've had the easiest start to the season out of everybody in the league. And it's been the coaching that has been the reason why we haven't been able to play to our full capacity. That is the bigger problem than experience or chemistry. If the system is crap or the mentality is crap, you're doomed to fail from the start. So that's the bigger problem to me overall of that. We haven't had a tough start.
That's why you look at the recruitment team. Have they got the manager? Like when you look at the squad now, you bought Graham Potter, the long-term manager. You look at Graham Potter, who's a long-term manager. That failed. You know, Pochettino. Is it now come down to Todd Bowley picking the wrong managers for Chelsea? Do you guys need a long-term project? I've never ever looked at Chelsea and thought long-term project. Don't change your history. You are a club that
we needed a clear out. We majorly needed it. But I agree on the manager ID thing. Like, that's very questionable. How we spent months looking for a replacement with Potter. We worked with Poch for ages before officially announcing him. For the plan to just be in Cuckoo and Inshallah, I don't get it.
To be fair, most Chelsea fans wanted Pochettino, yourself included. So this is what I'm saying when it comes to bringing in managers. I didn't
play 2 forwards at home against Forest and Luton.
But
you got to look at it, innit? It's all hindsight, innit? Yeah, like he comes into the club, we didn't know he was going to do this, didn't know he was doing that. Nobody knows what he's going to do. But when you're looking at a manager, most Chelsea fans were buzzing that Pochettino come to the club. When Graham Potter got signed for Chelsea, everybody, not only Chelsea fans, people were looking at Potter like, you know what? This guy's been one of the best coaches in the leagues, getting the best out of players. It could potentially work. It's not like he's going out there and bringing in somebody from the Dutch league that nobody knows. They are going out there and bringing in top managers. Really, they are.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame them and say that they're not trying, because they are trying. They're spending the money. They're bringing the managers in. My thing is they're just spending it wrong. And Lewis touched on the mentality of the club, because they got pumped in left, right, and centre last season. That's left a stain on them. I know it's new players and stuff, but they probably haven't got that feel-good factor around the club. We had it at Arsenal for years, where you'd be going to the games, and going to the game, there was nothing really to get up for. So that's just how I see it.
Start of the season, everyone was hyped though. It's just taken record time for everyone to be depressed again.
Lewis,
During the
window, but even before the whole Caicedo Lavia thing, I was saying, bro, Chelsea, in my opinion, as I said, you say there's been this wholesale change at the club when there really hasn't. Yes, the ownership has changed. Bowley cleared out all the backroom staff, but everything is still the same. If anything, you're spending more money, and you still had about 5 different coaches at the club, or 4 different coaches at the club, since the hierarchy has changed. And if you guys really were changing, and there was really a philosophy change at the club, regardless of how bad it was getting under Graham Potter, you would have kept him at the club and hoped for that second season to really kick on, because Arteta ended up coming 8th. Yeah, let's be honest. If you won maybe 2-3 games on the bounce, that 12th or 13th place finish probably would have been a 9th or an 8th. Same way Arteta finished in that place twice, actually, which is what you need to understand.
That's to say Potter would have turned it around.
No. I'm not saying Potter 100% would have turned it around. I'm saying when it comes to longevity, there's always going to be some sort of struggle, and it can get as bad as 8th place, finishing at the end of the season. Do you know what I'm saying? Bringing Frank in after Potter,
I hear 8th.
It was only going to. No, I'm saying, but bringing Frank in after Potter, it was only, even it was interim, it was only going to get worse, and it was only going to get worse in my opinion. And bringing someone new in like Poch, if you guys do get rid of Poch, it's another hire and fire situation. As bad as it gets with Poch, if you lot have really changed, and you lot are really going for this young squad, building for the future philosophy, you have to see through these times, and you have to grin and bear it. But that's not in the Chelsea DNA. You man are higher and fire, ruthless football club.
Chelsea
but you
DNA.
Where God you changed when you haven't? Because look at the way man like Pochettino out, the manager, the pressure. I understand there's statistics and there's standards for Chelsea.
But it's not just because of the results.
Bro, when you want to hit the hard reset and you want to start again and there's a new ownership, you can no longer be that. So do you know what I'm saying? So you can't. This is what I'm saying. The club ain't changed and the fan base ain't changed.
I would agree with you if we were playing like an 8th place team. We are bottom of the calendar year table out of everyone who's been promoted or relegated. This isn't just mid-table. This isn't mid-table form.
0 wins, 0 points. 0 wins, 0 points. 0 wins, 0 points.
The ones bottom now.
No. Game week 3, Arsenal, 3 games played, 3 losses, bro.
That's game week 3. Cool. We're in game week 6.
Bro.
And have you seen the run that's coming up after the international break? And you think people haven't got a right to be concerned? If this is how we're playing against Bournemouth, against Aston Villa, against Nottingham Forest, against Luton, what happens when it's Arsenal? What happens when it's Tottenham, Man City, Man United, Brighton, Brentford?
And Lewis, I understand, bro. I understand that. But again, you man are telling me you've changed. If you haven't changed, own it and say, do you know what? Get this man out. I need to win now. This is Chelsea football.
No, because there's been times where it hasn't been working, but we've seen like there's an actual process, like under Maurizio Sarri, like Frank Lampard the first time, where we were still getting results, where we were in decent place under the table. Yeah, Chelsea fans know how to be patient with a manager. Chelsea fans know how to be patient with a manager, even if the board necessarily isn't. It all depends on what you see. No, it all depends on what you're seeing on the pitch. The reason why everyone's turning on Poch this early is because he's playing defensive football against winless Bournemouth sides. He tried to time waste against a team that still hasn't won in the league yet.
Yes, but I understand, bro. You can criticize the manager and you can say all these things about the manager, but the second things go left and the second things went bad is get him out the door. Or not for you, not you specifically, Lewis, again. But understand, you're going to have to see through these moments.
But you act like it's always been like that with the fan base, with every manager, and it hasn't even been like that in the Roman era. They were patient with Lampard. There were sections that were patient with Conte. So the whole of the Chelsea fan base backed Mourinho when he had us a point off the relegation zone. So like, let's not pretend this fan base doesn't have patience. They do.
Not the whole, bro. Again, what you man call patience isn't the patience that that Premsy would have, that I've had to have, that Patrick's had to have, that Saeed had to have. There's a different type
I'm sorry,
of
our old board wasn't that patient, but us as fans, we were patient towards certain managers depending on the preference.
But just know, bro, it's gonna get worse before it's gonna get better. And
I know that.
I understand there's a Chelsea standard in it. Like, you want to be in the process, but you don't want to be 15th at the same time. Like, in the process, you should be in and around, maybe just outside the top 4.
Around, even
mid-table. I understand there's a standard, and that's why we get onto you as rival fans. But at the same time, I just don't like the fact that man them swear that they've changed their ways when you're just enhancing what was before under Abramovich. In my opinion.
Why are we defending being 14th in the table?
It's not defending.
We want to talk about standards. Like, we'd be, if I was defending that, we'd be sitting here talking about how the standards at Chelsea have dropped. And how am I accepting these standards?
Chelsea 101 said next season we'll be losing Sheffield Wednesday and Lewis will be there defending Bowley and putting the blame on Big Sam. I don't.
You blame Todd Bowley for why we play 2 forwards at home against Luton Town. Go for it.
Yeah. I think there's a mixture. I think any manager that comes in now is still going to be toxic, man, because I feel like for me, Todd Bowley is going to be running things his way. And I think ultimately these guys have just got to relax. Like, stop spending a crazy amount of money. Build a squad that you can actually put and be ready for.
We only spent that money to build a squad. Like, why are we forgetting we've been overdue a clear out for years? We just accelerated the process.
But do you not think it's a bit mad though, Lewis? Like, if, say, for example, if you wasn't a Chelsea fan and you looked at Chelsea squad and they've spent $1 billion, I look at that team and there's not one single player in that team that made me frightened or think, oh, when Arsenal play them, they're going to give us a real problem. There's not one in that team that does that. And if you spent that much money, there should be at least a few of them. I think maybe Nkunku, when he comes in, he seems like a decent player. But other than that, there's not really anyone.
But why is that? You got to delve deeper into the reasons why. Again, a £215 million pivot that we don't play together. We play Chilwell at left wing. We play a left back at centre back. We have 2 slow centre backs that we play together. Like, the system is a mess. It's a mess.
Was Enzo
I guarantee
Casado not in the same team?
Better team and a better system, and we played to attack for 90 minutes, we would win more games, and the entire perspective of Chelsea and the players that we have would be completely different because there would be results on the table.
Also,
the problem is the way we play.
How many Germans have come here and flopped, man? So I don't. Listen, Nkunku's a good player, but listen, we don't know yet, man. Every single forward that goes to Chelsea nowadays just kind of they kind of flop, man. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know yet. So let's just see.
When you set them up to be isolated every game because you're playing with 2 forwards, they're bound to fail.
I mean,
okay, let's see. But guys, there's over 900 people, nearly 900 people in here. We've not even hit 300 likes. I don't know what you guys are on, man. Like, bro, just hit the like button, people, man. It's simple.
I'm moving like my club, man. Hit the like button.
Yeah, you're moving like Chelsea. Like, if you don't want to be associated with Chelsea, then hit the like button, people, man. So please hit that like button. I wanted to talk on Ivan Toney. I think for me, when I looked at Arsenal, they need a striker in it. Like, Jesus, 100. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good forward, but then Chelsea need him as well. Like, who do let me go to Patrick first and I'll get the opinions of Arsenal and Liverpool. But who do you reckon needs him more? Chelsea or Arsenal? Who needs Ivan Toney more?
For the sake of his career, if he's serious, he should go to Arsenal, even though they're my rivals and I hate them. If he goes Chelsea, the thing is, Chelsea are just signing so many players. Like Premsy said, how can you spend $1 billion on that squad? And I look at it and there's no killers, there's no ruthlessness in that squad, there's no one. When we do all these combined 11s, and you know, sometimes I hate combined 11s because they can be a bit silly, but in these combined 11s for Chelsea, who are the new boys are getting in your team? In my combined 11, if I'm looking at Chelsea, it's Reece James who's already there. Probably that's it. So when I look at that squad, and if Ivan Toney goes there right now, it's a graveyard for players because no one knows what's going on. How long is Pochettino going to be there? When a player signs for a club, you want to know that the manager is invested in you and is going to play you. If a new manager comes in, he's going to come with ideas. He might not like Toney and want another striker. And Chelsea are always going to buy and buy and buy. So if he's serious and he wants to progress, and and obviously Arsenal playing Champions League football, they're pushing at the higher end of the table. For me, it's a no-brainer. If Arteta calls him and says, "Come here, I'm going to play you," you have to go Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Same if Liverpool turn around and say, well, to be fair, Liverpool wouldn't. I know he's a Liverpool fan, but Liverpool are top heavy. They don't need him. So yeah, if it's out of those two clubs, it's a no-brainer, 100%.
Bro, I can't lie to you, man. I think you're right. Chelsea's one of them situations where you don't know what team's going to be playing every week. You don't know what. He just don't know what's going to happen, innit? I think the balance in the team, it suits Arsenal, innit? And I feel like for me, no disrespect to Jesus, but he would have to be pushed out on the wing. I think Toney would be the main man at Arsenal. And that's just me being real, innit? Like that chance here that Jesus had here in the North London derby, Toney bags that.
100%.
Toney bags that. 100%. Like Premsy, listen, you know what it is, yeah? You can love a player, yeah, but you gotta elevate, innit? You gotta elevate, and that man is Toney, innit? Come in January, you might go for a title charge, and that might be the difference as well, getting an extra 10, 12 goals towards the end of the season.
Unpopular opinion, I don't think Toney presses Maddison in order to make the chance, but I do think Toney does finish the chance if he's in the position. I don't think he presses the ball the way Jesus does, though, to get the ball.
Yeah, I think obviously Jesus. Yeah, you got to look at it when he came to Arsenal. I think most Arsenal fans knew that he isn't a 25 goal player a season. We knew that, but what he gives this team in different attributes is second to none. Mons touched on it, is pressing, his ability to get out of tight spaces, the way he integrates with the left winger, right winger, drops deep to recovers the ball defensively. Quality player. But you are right. I've been screaming out for it for ages. We need a killer up front, somebody who can just hit the bread and butter, put the ball in the back of the net, no question asked, a focal point, something Arsenal have been missing for a long time. And if we had a Toney up front, Jesus can play on the left, play on the right. Obviously, Saka needs to get rested here and there. He's now become Arsenal's all-time record breaker for playing the most consecutive games in a row. So he needs a rest. I would definitely have him in. If you look at the situation of Chelsea, you would probably say they need him more in it, because I think Arsenal without Toney can still prod along and still compete to a certain extent. But Chelsea definitely need somebody that can put the ball in the back of the net. So I think Chelsea would need him more. But like Patrick said, if he's going to be thinking about his career, it's a no-brainer, really. You'd probably want to move over to Arsenal. Liverpool could do with him. But you know what? Also, don't be surprised if Tottenham go in for him in January, because I have a feeling that's possible. Harry Kane's left the club. They need a proper striker as well. At the moment, they're kind of facilitating Son in that position. They could potentially go in for him.
Yeah, that's a good one as well. You know what I mean? But obviously, it depends on the priority of what right now they need. But I don't know. That your policy now, Lewis, is, I don't know, over 25, you don't buy anyone. Is there anything truth in that? Because obviously, I mean, Ivan Toney's 26, I think 27. So, you know what I mean? Like,
it's BS. We were looking at Toney all year before the ban. Like, Matt Law's just waffling with that one. But realistically, we are the dead 2 out of 10 in the club. And no one's going to unless they're just desperate at the end of the night. Like, if Arsenal come in, he's going to Arsenal. If Liverpool, United come in, they're probably going there. Anyone else in Europe. Like last season, you could pretend it's a blip. But if we're in 14th again, we just look straight unattractive to anyone serious. So that's another reason why I'm worried and another reason why we need to pattern up. But hey, I don't think we get Toney as it stands. If he has any sense, he's going to Arsenal. But hopefully he waits till the summer so we can try and throw Lukaku in Brentford's direction and see if that turns the tides a little bit.
Lukaku ain't going Brentford.
Interesting.
Come on. He's a prima donna. He ain't going Brentford. So I
can hope. All I have.
You know what? I've always seen Lukaku in a Spurs shirt for some reason. You know, that's not even having no taken.
We went for years of the Lukaku Kane swap deal.
Yeah, Lukaku in our system would be horrible, but nah.
Yeah,
the thing is, Lukaku in the right system is a bagsman. He's a good player in the right system, but there's not a lot of systems that actually fit him.
He might be your new Adebayor. You never know.
No, fuck that.
No. Adebayor.
That'll make Chelsea be Tottenham that much more heated, though.
Yeah.
Listen, Adebayor was doing bits that season. Was it 11-12 season? Was it? I think it was 11-12. Was it 10-11?
I think it was 13-14 under Sherwood.
Yeah, yeah, he was a decent
Is it
player for
Sherwood?
us. Yeah, Sherwood. Yeah, under Sherwood's reign before Kane came in, Adebayo was quite decent, and obviously his first season at Man City, he was a killer as well. But that's a long time ago now, though.
Why are you trying to bring up that first season? I know what you.
When he did the whole run across
I know what you're trying to do.
Bro.
Nah, he was all right. He was an all right player. He was an all right player.
Lucid Cloudy says Chelsea should buy Girona manager, Pep Prodigy City group like Koglu. Girona second in La Liga. Liverpool should humble Spurs now. Jurgen, please. Bro,
Hey,
listen,
right now I take
Liverpool
anyone
on
over
fire,
Poch,
man.
so I don't care.
Swear down. The thing is, yeah, if you sacked Pochettino now, yeah, I don't know. Where did they go? Did they go to the Sporting Lisbon
I don't
manager?
know.
He's a good
That's
manager.
why I'm not Poch out yet, because I just don't know.
You need to give him time, man. You need to give him time. Trust me,
he's
it's
digging
too
his
early,
grave,
man.
though. Like, we're giving him time by default.
What, 5-6 games, bro? That's a madness.
Brother, this is the easiest start of the season. As things stand, we could be in the relegation zone by Christmas.
Yeah, but it's not like he's walking into a Chelsea team that's fucking thriving, isn't it? He's walking into a Chelsea team that's
you could walk in and have a mentality to try and win a couple of games, and that would be enough for me to back him. You don't even have that. A man plays to draw games. He plays to draw.
So you're likely sounding like you're
what do you back in that?
You know what the thing is, though, yeah? If they sack the manager now, that same manager is going to be under pressure because he's going to have to
I'm not Poch out for any of you man in the comment sections. I just said
no, he's not. Don't put words in his mouth.
Sounding like Poch out, fam. Sounding like...
Bro, like, this is the thing. If I say anything critical, everyone goes in the comments and starts crying, oh, he's Poch out. No, the guy's just an idiot. That's it. I'd like him just patting up because we're not going to get rid of him after 5 games. What's the point of being Poch? But let me get to the Arsenal game.
It's probably because you said I'll have anybody over Poch right now. I think that's why.
Yeah, right now. Keywords, because right now he's moving like a bum.
Wow.
It's the same mentality we got Tottenham for. He is playing to draw games.
Do you know what, Lewis? You said something that for me, like you said, if the system and the philosophy isn't right, then you're doomed to begin with. I do believe that to an extent, but sorry, Saeed, but Manchester United for me have zero identity in their game, and at least they can get wins here and there when needed. In it, like United are still capable of winning football matches at their at their very worst, and that is haram football to the highest degree. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what's that?
So one thing I would agree with.
Do they play to draw at 0-0?
What was that, Patrick? Then what is that? That thumbs up button there?
Did they,
yeah.
Do they play to draw at 0-0?
He was doing it yesterday, yo.
Oh, fucking
hold the thumb up.
Wait, how did you do
3
that?
seconds at eye level.
Yeah, that's mad.
Do the thumbs up. So look, hold the thumb up.
What future realm are you living in? Hold on.
Nah, he's taking the piss out of us. I'm telling you, because I'm telling you, he got pushed yesterday. Yeah, he kept doing it, and it's not working.
Eye level, man's at eye level here, man. Man's doing something. You see how Tottenham do well now. If Tottenham are doing well, and now they're doing some mad shit right now, you know what I mean, man? It's crazy.
I don't know what's going on here, man.
Patrick's living in
iPad. You don't need to get yourself an iPad Pro. There you go. iPad.
Yeah, there you go. Get yourself an iPad Pro, man.
Yeah, well,
listen, it's crazy. But yeah, man, I think for me, yeah, listen, Chelsea are in a mess, and if they lose tomorrow, oh my God, if they lose to Brighton tomorrow in the Carabao, yeah, I think it's going to be
Brighton rotates. It's their third game in 6
Even if they rotate, you see how they rotate against us? Bro, they beat us with 7 guys out. Are you mad? They beat us with Danny Welbeck up front.
Yeah,
bro, they beat us with
team,
man. Who was their team? They had bro, they had next man. I didn't even know some of them man in there. And they still beat us, bro. They bossed us off the park. So if they get at least 6-7 man out, they're still beating Chelsea. Chelsea need a miracle. I need to play their strongest team.
You know
tomorrow.
what, Pochettino? I'm going to do a shameless 180. Protect the point and go to penalties.
That's what you need.
I'm here for it, man.
Billy Gilmore.
Now we need shameless Spurs mentality. This is where it comes in handy.
Billy Gilmore. You already see Billy Gilmore's interview in that.
What did he say?
What did he say?
When he was saying about his opportunities at Chelsea, basically they come in and he just knew that, right? That's it. There's no place for him now. He's got to go in it.
Yeah, Tuchel said Tuchel just didn't want to use him. He preferred playing Conor Gallagher as a DM.
Madness. Yeah. He's going to come back and get some vengeance on Chelsea tomorrow.
Probably.
Yeah, 100%. Let's talk about Liverpool, man, because I feel like for me, we don't address Liverpool a lot on the show. And make sure you guys are still liking the video, people. Yo, Liverpool,
man.
listen, you might be on the show this year, but next year you could be title winners, man. I can't lie to you, man. What are you saying,
I mean,
Mons, man?
it's
Title
funny that
winners.
you wanna. It's funny that when we were losing last season, it was let's talk about Liverpool. Yeah, first topic. Yeah, let's talk about Liverpool. Mons, let's talk about Liverpool. Now, obviously, I don't even think that the fact that we've won 5 games in a row is even really being spoken about too much. I think it's like kind of a quietly going about their business. I understand the NLD is a very big game, and I think they botched it with having the games at the same time. The way the fixtures worked on Sunday was awful. But I'm not gonna lie, sitting second, 2 points behind City, and the only time we've dropped points is at the bridge.
Fortress.
And the worst thing is we have Liverpool for me. And I say this for a few other teams. Liverpool, for me, still have gears to move up. I don't think we're performing to the best of our ability even now. I still think we're starting games poorly at times. And our attack is getting us out of jail. But we're still getting 3 points on the board. 3-1 seems to be our favourite scoreline this season. 4 out of 7 games, 3-1. Conceding first. You know what I'm saying? We even conceded first against Lask. Name me 3 last players, man. Name me 3 of them.
I don't know.
Yeah, I generally don't know.
I generally don't know.
I didn't even hear what you said, to be fair, bro. Fucking missed
I said, name me 3 players.
I don't know what Europa League is. I don't know. I don't watch Europa League. Go on.
And this is what annoys me about the Europa League. If we was in the champs this year, I reckon we'd be right up there with the favourites to go quite far in the competition, which is very frustrating. But if we're talking in the Premier League, I don't really have too much to complain about. We're doing this all without a 6. Imagine we actually have a 6, because McAllister's playing out of position. And to be fair, he's doing all right for me, giving away a few passes, a few lackadaisical mistakes, and we're getting away with it because Alisson is pulling off world-class saves week in, week out. People aren't talking about Virgil van Dijk back to his best. Not obviously the 019 Van Dijk, but he's performing at a very, very high level at the moment. Trent's not been in the team for the last 3 games. It's not mattered. Joe Gomez and Matip have come in. 3rd and 4th choice centre-backs have started a few games, and we're still looking good. Players are coming in, and the philosophy is not changing. And that's the Liverpool I know, where players can come in, and the drop-off isn't astronomical, as per se. West Ham is, like what Patrick said in the GC, West Ham was an easy banana peel. It was a game that was so easy to drop points at. Paqueta, for me, was the best player on the pitch on the weekend. He was the best player on the pitch against us. Not for West Ham, on the pitch. He was better than every Liverpool midfielder as well on that day. I can see why he's got the 80 million price tag. I can actually see it. And for me, the way West Ham have been playing, I feel like they're going to give a lot of teams problems. And they gave us a lot of problems as well. So to get through West Ham and Aston Villa, who I believe are 7th and 6th, or 7th and 8th, someone might have to double check that for me. And to go and beat Newcastle with 10 men, I just feel like Liverpool have done almost everything right, apart from start game as well. So I think the bridge between Arsenal and City, and to move us away from Manchester United and the Chelseas and even the Spurs per se, is to start the games how we're finishing them. That's the way we bridge that gap to get back to where we were. And I think if we can get to January and we're in and amongst the top, and we can still get a DM in January to kind of plug a few of the issues that we still have, even when the team is complete, I believe Liverpool are going to be a real force. I'm not saying we're going for the title. I'm not saying we're title contenders. I know that's what you don't want me to say. That's what you don't want me to say. But it's too early.
I say, give us what you think, man, and what do you think this Liverpool team is capable of? And I think for me, I can't lie, I still predict they'll finish in the top 4-ish. But then again, I don't know, man. I feel like there's a part where Liverpool will struggle. I just don't know when it is. I feel like there's going to be an area as to where Liverpool will struggle in the season. And I think the midfield and also the defense will be questionable. I think it's still shaky. Right now, your main half of your team is what's kind of keeping you afloat. The Salahs, the Nunez is on form now. You know, McAllister's doing his job. But I still think there's going to be a period in the season where Liverpool will fall off. I don't know when it is. I think it will be there.
Have you seen their fixture list? See when the next tough run is.
It's Tottenham.
Well, they got a fixture this weekend. Tottenham.
Oh yeah, you got Tottenham.
Tottenham this weekend. But you know what I'm saying? But again, I'm not gonna downplay Spurs, and obviously the Arsenal boys downplayed Spurs, and look how that one turned out. They literally had more possession at the Emirates.
Not me, fam. Not me.
You did.
Yeah.
I'm
You
saying
know what? I was one of the only
Yeah.
Arsenal fans, to give Tottenham respect. Everyone I was speaking to, they were saying, "Nah, we're gonna brush him."
Bro,
Ask
Goodally
Patrick,
was
man.
going in the camera and that to Spurs fans. I'm telling you right now, it is very to go and get more possession than Arsenal at the Emirates is a very difficult feat. That ain't easy with this current Arsenal side. So I'm not really understanding the Liverpool fans saying that Liverpool are going to wipe the floor with Spurs. These are not the same whipping boys that we play every year, year in, year out. I'm telling you, man, now.
Sam called it 4-1. I was like, wow, okay, Sam.
Like, bro, I still think, Patrick, I still think we win the game, but to say 4-1 is
Please do.
It's ridiculous, bro. Tottenham are, for me, after Man City, it's Liverpool and Spurs like this. There's no, like, honestly, the way they've been performing, and they've outplayed Arsenal, in my opinion, for large parts.
Are you disrespecting Arsenal already? Are you disrespecting Arsenal?
I don't know, but it's mad to see. It's mad to see all this chest for months this season, when last season at the start of the season, my man was predicting his team in the dumps. You get me? And I had more faith in his team than himself. You get me? Now he's jumped out of his box.
I pick you up for that. I'm saying I'm crediting Spurs because of how good Arsenal are. I'm not saying
Spurs are good. You got to give them the credit, not even with how good we are, bro. You got to give them their credit. They came to the Emirates with a game plan. They played their football, and a draw was a fair result. Normally, bro, we're beating Tottenham every single year at the Emirates. I was saying to so many people before the game, look, it's not going to be that easy. You got to look at what's in front of you and how teams are playing right now this season. Forget what's happened. Look at right now. And Tottenham, they've recruited well. Everyone thought they were going to struggle without the likes of Harry Kane, but it looks like it's helped them and spurred them on. You get me? Now other people are taking responsibility in the team and they're looking like a team. And Ange, he played the right game. 70 minutes, 75 minutes, he took off Son, he took off Maddison, he brought on Højbjerg and Richarlison, and he just seen the game out. He sat back. Maybe you could have kept him on and potentially went on and won the game, but I think it was a prime example of Tottenham taking their chances and Arsenal not taking their chances, because if both teams took all of their chances, Arsenal would have come out victorious because we had a lot more chances. But you can't take anything away from Tottenham. And you know what? I've been giving Liverpool a lot of credit. Is at the Tottenham Stadium this game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been giving Liverpool a lot of credit. But you know what? I think Tottenham beat Liverpool. I'm just saying it.
I fucking hope so. You lot are a bogey team. I'm looking at them.
I think.
What's Liverpool's record at the stadium? What's Liverpool's record?
It's insane.
We're the only ones left that haven't lost at the stadium.
Yeah, the last time we beat Liverpool,
it was Man U. It was us and Man U. But then before the
BOTR. Yeah, you're correct.
The last time we beat Liverpool at home was when we played at Wembley, 4-1. I remember. I was there.
2017.
Kane scored. Kane, Jack Lovren scored. Son scored. When Lovren
got taken off at half time. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah,
but no,
other than that,
sorry, go on, Patrick. Go on.
No, sorry, go on. You finish.
No, I was just saying, but just on the Liverpool thing, like, I see people in the chat saying I'm covering my back. I said I'm not covering my back because when I was covering the NLD, I was saying Tottenham are getting something out of that game. So was I covering my back then as a neutral? Like, come on, man, let's just be honest and call it as it is. The top three teams in the league right now, in my opinion, are Manchester City, Liverpool, and Tottenham, and then Arsenal probably just below that. So it's not crazy to say that this is going to be a tough game away from home. Liverpool's away record isn't the best, and the way that we start games, as I said, we can start games poorly against the Bournemouths, the Wolves, Lask. You could even say Newcastle. We started poorly. You do that with Tottenham, you'll be 2-0 down in 15 minutes if two of them chances drop us on. 2-0 down in 15 minutes. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like we have more firepower than Tottenham. And I think the midfield is a conversation. For me, Szoboszlai, I think, isn't being spoken enough. I think Maddison is getting so much of the credit as the best midfield signing in the Premier League. For me, Szoboszlai is right up there with Maddison. I think because he's not quite a 10, you're not seeing him get all the GA.
I'm not going to lie, Mox. It's probably because people haven't watched you lot as much as us. We've had a lot of coverage so far. You lot probably haven't. due to your schedule of being in Europa but yeah, I'm sure as you guys are playing more TV people see it, because I'm not gonna lie, I haven't really watched you lot like that yet, because your fixtures are always clashing with ours, so it's going to be an interesting game. But like you said, I think for me, I know we can get at your defense, but your firepower worries me. Like your Nunez's, your Salah's, the fact that you can bring Jota on, will he start, will he won't? Then you've got obviously, Gakpo. You've got a lot of interchangeable, strong options. Our midfield is going to be a good battle. That can go either way. And yeah, defensively, we're still a young unit in the sense of Mickey van der Ven, first season, and he's young. Obviously, Udogie, first season, and he's young. Then you've got Romero, and then obviously you've got Porro. So yeah, it's going to be, and our goalkeeper is brand new as well. So it's going to be a really interesting match. You know, Arsenal was our first big test, and obviously we came out quite well in that. This one is a biggie as well, man, because Liverpool are no mugs.
No,
sorry, go on, Si.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, and also the fact that Nunez is on fire now as well. Like, I don't know, man. I feel like, you know what, man, you got to give it to him. Every time you feel like you can doubt Nunez, he's got this attitude. I like his attitude, to be fair to him. Like, he's not one of them that watches social media. He just gets on with his job and does his thing. Like, and fair play to him, man, because the amount of things that he would have seen online, you would have thinking he wouldn't cope with it. But this Nunez guy's got the right mentality. He just keeps playing, keeps finding the back of the net. He keeps getting chances. And you know what, man? He looks like he's enjoying it. Is that like 4 goals now already this season? 4 goals already this season?
He's got 3 in the Prem, 4 in all comps, I believe. So he's really starting to. Again, for someone who's me. God, I'm saying I've never been Nunez's biggest fan, and I think everyone kind of knows this. And for me, that this was the first 9 out of 10 performance I'd actually given him in that West Ham game. He was phenomenal every part of his game. And for me, it's not about his goal scoring. I've had to accept with Nunez, he's always going to miss sitters. Like, that's always going to be a thing with him. However, for me, you can't have bad like hold up play. Your all round game can't be crap and you miss sitters. You don't get to do that at Liverpool Football Club. However, when your all-round gameplay is better, like what it was against West Ham, when he missed the sitter, I didn't like lose my head like I usually would, because he'd been linking up play, he'd been bullying the defenders, his passing was good, his one touch, the layups were great. So for me, I thought, you know what, he's had a good game. So missing the sitters isn't an issue now. And then he came back and scored the goal. For me, over the shoulder on the volley and then missing the sitter, that's just so Nunez to finish the harder chance. But what a finish it was.
Do you know what though, Mons? Sorry to cut you. Do you know why? Just what people tend to forget as well. I think the timing of Nunez's arrival as well, it didn't help him, because he joined Liverpool after just challenging for the league with Man City. They went in and got Haaland. Hughes went in and got him. Big price tag. A lot of pressure on his head, innit? So that probably didn't help him the way it kind of fell into play, because everyone was expecting the world from him. But like you said, bro, like he is a very good player, man. And Saeed talking about him, you know, having the mentality of not letting things get to him. I seen I think it was like a football challenge where he was shooting through like glass and stuff like that. And his English isn't very good, so that could potentially help him as well. He might not understand half of the things that get said, which could help a player, to be fair. I don't know, but he's a decent player, man.
I'm happy in it. I wouldn't say our style of play right now is sustainable. I am kind of on the boat of you guys, where I think there is going to be times where McAllister can't always play the role in the 6. Like without a DM, I think you can only last so long. If you want to go and win a league, you need to protect your back 4, no matter how good they're playing, because the back 4 aren't always going to have good games individually. And the Premier League have blessed attackers in every team for me, even probably apart from maybe Luton and Burnley. And even Luton, they got that Osho kid who was ripping up Man United. Like there's so many blessings. He's good, you know what I'm talking about, innit? The winger that they got.
Yeah. He ripped that lot at the start, man, and then luckily he came back into it.
He was even decent against. I watched him in the game before. He trust me, he's a player. But I think with Liverpool, we need to. For me, just get to January, innit? Get to January and still being in amongst the top, and I think we'll be all right. I just feel like for me, keep Szoboszlai fit at all costs. I think that's bro, if you don't need to forget, like Thiago's still to come back, Trent hasn't been in the team, and Konate's not there, and we still look devastating. You know what I'm saying? There are Curtis Jones. We ain't lost the game since Curtis Jones has come into the team since the back end of last season. We ain't lost the game. You know what I'm saying? Curtis Jones' development is going under the radar as well. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Luis Diaz is a massive plus to this Liverpool team as well.
And Gravenberch as well, yeah.
Go on.
Why am I seeing people in the comments saying that Tottenham can't score goals versus Liverpool's attack? We've scored the third most amount of goals in the Premier League this season. And our attack, just looking at it, we've only conceded 7 goals, which is pretty much bang on with Arsenal. Liverpool have conceded 8 goals for whatever it is. Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know why people are giving this misconception that it's going to be an easy day for Liverpool. I think it's going to be a good test. Liverpool probably are the better team right now. But for people to write off our defense like we've been leaking goals, we haven't. And we scored just as many goals as everyone, bar Man City and Brighton. So again, people don't even watch football. They're just coming up with these weird misconceptions. And that's what, not Premsy, because Premsy was different. A lot of Arsenal fans did that, and they got a rude awakening on Sunday. Do you know what I mean? Watch the games and treat teams on face value of what they're doing now, not last season or the season before. So yeah, it's a funny one. I'm seeing loads of comments where people just writing us off. I'm like, wow, okay. But yeah, that's calm.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, you're spot on, man. You're spot on. Quickly, before we kind of wrap things up and whatnot, and make sure you guys are liking the video, people, man. I wanted to touch on the Sancho situation. I don't know if you've seen it, but it looks like he's been banished from the first team. It doesn't look like he's going to be playing for United anytime soon. I start off with you, Premsy, man. Should he apologise? Should he come clean to the manager? What should he do? Because obviously he's not backing down. And he's refusing to apologize. So what are you saying, man, about the situation right now?
Sometimes you might have to just bite your tongue in order for your own career, because I understand personally. Obviously, I've grown up in an era where Wenger's always kept everything behind closed doors. He never really called anyone out. And as an Arsenal fan, we do normally see that. Obviously, Arteta's a little bit different. Maybe Ten Hag should have approached it differently, but I can understand to some extent why he did do it, because Anthony's been playing awful, and all United fans want to know why Sancho wasn't getting an opportunity to play. So he kind of just basically addressed the situation. Sancho come out, pinned it to his comments, and that fired back. He should just come out. They should sit down and if it's behind closed doors or whatnot, apologise to him and get his career back on track, because it's not going to help him at all. It's not going to help the club for potentially reselling the player if they want to sell him, because he'll have no game time under his belt. And also it's not going to help him as well trying to get back to form. He's still young as well, man. He should just sort it out.
Yeah, you know what? I think it's just got ugly, man. I'll be real with you, man. I think there must be a communication issue there, man. I don't think it was wise for the manager to come out what he said, in terms of maybe calling out someone for not training well. I think that should have been done behind closed doors. But I think ultimately for Sancho, it's in his court, innit? Like, I think the manager's going to be saying, he's going to have that hierarchy where he's the manager, he's the boss. He wants things done his way. It's now up to Sancho what he wants to do with his career, innit? Like, it's only your career that's going to be affected, innit? For the next couple of months, you need to find that rhythm. Yeah. So that when you go to another club, you're in the top tier condition. But
Chelsea might sign him in January.
Oh, hey, listen.
Hey, he's under 25. That's that narrative. Good work.
He is under 25.
Be serious.
He would cook on the Tottenham. I think he would do well at Tottenham. I think on that right hand side, Kulusevski could go in the middle, and then Sancho on the right. Man, I can't lie to you, man. I would put him on the right at Tottenham, but I think he'll probably leave England because of the bad press that he's got anyway right now. So, I mean, would you take him, Patrick, at Tottenham?
Yeah, you know what? I would, in this system, I wouldn't have before, but in this system where we're quite fluid, he would be a brilliant rotational piece or option. And like you said, it gives us a chance to possibly put Kulu in the middle, interchange. You can have Brennan Johnson on one wing, Solomon on another, put Sonny up top, put Sonny or Richarlison in there. It just gives us these options, depending who we're playing. And, he'd be a good option. The thing is with Sancho, it's just about his mentality, though. If he comes to Spurs, I don't want to see... I'm not saying that he's at fault for all of this, but we just don't want no bad eggs in the camp. Right now, everything seems good and harmonious, and we don't need a Jadon Sancho causing problems with the manager and all of that stuff. So if he's willing to, obviously... I don't know who's right, who's wrong, what happened, what hasn't happened, but as long as he comes and he's willing to ball out 100%, because at Dortmund, that guy was insane. He was getting like 20 goals and 20 assists a season. Like, people don't even really talk about... The numbers were mental. 18 assists, 15 goals, incredible numbers. And he's come to United, and for whatever reason, it's not really happened. So, I don't know. But yeah, I'll take him. If he's gonna come and do what he needs to do, 100%. There's a top player still there, and he's still young as well.
Yeah, no, facts, man, 100%, man. I mean, Mons, I think you spoke about it a couple of times as well. Like the manager might have been in the wrong and whatnot, and etc. etc. Like, where do you think now for Sancho? Now, should he just come out and apologize? Should he keep believing what he believes? Obviously, he's on FIFA and that, playing FIFA at night and that, and obviously people are associated with bare negativity and that. But what do you think he should do, bro?
In that sense, let him live his life. I think he should probably be living his life a little bit more privately. Obviously, he's deactivated his Instagram as well. So I understand that, because it feels like anything Sancho does right now, there's a magnifying glass on it. So I don't think it's wise being in the public eye. I just feel like an apology isn't warranted, because I think it's too far gone for one. I think if he was going to apologize, it's the timing of the apology. He would have just needed to do it straight away, get his head down and go back to what he's doing. Manchester United aren't in a good place, and they actually need Sancho. They actually could do with a Jadon Sancho out wide at the moment. And that's what confuses me, is the fact that this situation was avoidable. And I think maybe that's where Sancho kind of looks at this goes, this was so avoidable. You didn't need to call man out. Now you've got injuries and I'm still not playing. Dickhead thing. I'm not, do you know what I'm saying? So I feel like, again, I still stand by it. I think both of them are in the wrong. I think Ten Hag could have kept it in-house just because of where Man United are as a club right now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's if Man United were second in the league, and you know people are looking at Man United if they could be possible title contenders, by all means, call a man out. I respect the punishment, because you have to set a precedent for the players. You can't let any if he doesn't punish him, any other player in that squad thinks they can. All right, cool. Maybe I could dash out a statement and nothing's gonna happen to me. You have to set a precedent there, which he's done. But for I think Ten Hag for me is now doing the stubborn thing. It doesn't need an apology. You've called him out. He said what he said. The issues, deal with it behind doors and get him back in the team. And focus on the problems at Manchester United. You can't solve them all at once. You have to solve them one at a time. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think right now it's a battle of the egos. And unfortunately, Sancho's never going to win this battle. So just get him out of the club in January. Yeah. Get him out of the club in January, or stop. Like, it's like, you know when you violated your boy and your boy's like, say sorry. And you're like, bro, we don't even have that relationship for you to be saying sorry. Like, we know it was what it was. Let's just move on. But you know when someone says, "No, say sorry," say sorry. Yeah, it's just gonna get it. Like, it's just dead. So I don't know.
It's a weird one, because the only losers right here are Man United. The only person losing right now is Man United, the club, because Sancho is a talented player, and right now he could be helping. Anthony, where's he?
And his transfer value is going down.
Let's not get it twisted, though, Patrick. He's not pulled up no tree since he's been at United.
I know.
Yeah.
But still,
I agree.
You'd rather have him in the squad.
He can have a new lease of life, though. He's a talented player.
Yeah.
He's a talented player.
Exactly. I would rather have him in my squad.
The situation's just done now.
Yeah, it's a weird one. So
with him deleting the Instagram and the Instagram and all the latest news that's dropped, I think that's just it. It's just dead. They both have each other's sides. They're not going to talk anymore, and he's probably going to be gone in January. Probably just doesn't want to get a load of abuse in his DMs every day and is just going about his life. Is what it is. But I don't think there's anything too deep to look into, except I don't think you'll hear anything more about it. He's not in the team. He's not going to be in training or anything like that. It's probably going to tank his transfer value, and I don't know if the owners are going to be happy about it from their perspective, but he ain't going to be playing.
Listen,
regardless of your injury situation.
Exactly.
Not even looking at him.
Exactly. But listen, people, we're going to wrap up here. Big up to Big Ben. Said, what's changed with Arsenal? You competed for a title with all the other top teams, underperformed. 2004 league title and Champions League games since 2017. Stay humble. Wow. He's on to you now, man, Premsy. You get me? So
it's your opinion, innit, mate? Obviously, he's got to be a low-key hater as well.
Fan.
Probably his team's in the mud. Are you sure?
No, Real Madrid fan. Yeah, Real Madrid fan. Yeah, Big Ben's Real Madrid fan.
Bellingham's there now, innit? So they're happy.
Well, yeah, there you go.
To be fair, I'm a pretty humble Arsenal fan anyway. That's just keeping it 100.
Yeah,
that's
facts. But now, listen, people, man.
One of the good ones.
Been locked in. Yeah, exactly. Definitely, man. Premsy, a real one, man. Real one. Guys, make sure you like the video, people. There's still 900 people here. And I'm just going to check the like count. We're on 355. That is poor, man. Like, I don't know.
Come
what,
on,
what,
man.
what, what are you lot
Come on.
doing like in the chat? Like, you just watching or you just, I don't know, man. It's a bit, well, I'm being
Come on,
serious, man. Like,
Yo,
how
give him a
easy-
thumbs up,
You're here
Patty.
every day.
Yeah,
Look,
yeah.
that's
you
all
know
it
what
is.
Look at the
That's
thumbs
all
up.
it is. That's all you need to do.
That's all it
you
is,
need to
guys.
do.
You're here
Hit
every
that.
day. You watch the show every day. It's free content. The least you could do is hit the like button. That's
Half
all.
of the time
You don't
it
even
took
have
for
to
me
send
to
to
do that, you would have been able to whack that like. It's simple. It's not hard.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on. Come on.
Yeah,
Come
man.
on.
Definitely, man. Big up to you guys, man. Premsy, big up to you, man. Love for the support, man. As always.
Nah, man, every time. And like I said, one of the best shows on YouTube. It is brilliant to be a part of. Big up the chat, big up the panel. Make sure you go and subscribe to everyone's channels on here. And we'll see you next week, people.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Big up to Premsy. Make sure you follow him. Big Six Bands. Come on, man. Always my guy. Come on.
Of course, man. Obviously, appreciate the support, man. As Premsy said, man, make sure you're just subscribing to everyone here. They run amazing content. This is an amazing show. Do you know what I'm saying? So we need to get amazing likes and make sure, you know, you support the man there, man. You support me, you support the people around me. And that's just what it is, man. So this is good football chat. You know what I'm saying? It's only going to get better as the season goes on. So yeah, man. And obviously, man's going to be live in a little bit. So stay tuned, stay here, and let's get going.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Man, like Carefree Lewis, man. What are you saying, man?
Big up, my guys. Always great to chop it up on a Tuesday afternoon. Guys, again, one more time, please hit the like button. It's very straightforward. So, yeah, guys, don't move like my football club. And hopefully we scored a goal by next week. Forget the win. Like, we need to start slow. So, hopefully we get a goal. Big up, everybody.
Big up, man. And Patrick, love to you, man. Big up for coming on, man.
Yeah, always, man. And yeah, even if you're watching this on the repeat, still hit the like because that still pushes the show up in the algorithm so other people can watch it. It's always a pleasure being on there, man. Good chat, fun, you know, sensible football opinions. We all different opinions, but it's a good, it flows and it's fun, man. And yeah, obviously next week will be fun because we've got Liverpool versus Tottenham. We'll be recapping that. So it's going to be good, man. But yeah, you see the name there. So follow me on Twitter, follow me on Insta, YouTube, it's all there. So yeah, love for always having me on site. It's always good, man.
Always, man. Big up to everybody who's locked in. This has been the best of the rest. I'll see you after the match reaction. I'm on my way to Old Trafford now, so hopefully we win the game. If not, hey, listen.
Well,
Good luck, bro. Good luck.
People, we're out. Come on, United.